Ladies and gentlemen, hello, how are we doing today? I have a game against JD followed by some numbers which I am not at liberty to remember at the current time because, you know, that's the thing with numbers. There are a lot of them and they're usually in a sequence which is not healthy for my brain to remember. So, the title will do that job for me and I will do the job of just talking over this video, which is generally my job in general. So, here we go. We've got to lead off with a Jellicent. And Gengar vs Jellicent isn't the best matchup for me, but knowing that Gengars usually substitute up and do the sub-disable kind of thing in general, I have a feeling he's going to sub up on the start of the game, so I'm going to stay in, go for a Shadow Ball, and unfortunately it is going to turn out that he's not going to do that. He's going to go for a Shadow Ball of his own. I am able to live it, however, just because I have a lot of HP investment, and I have a decent amount of health left, so I don't want to stay in on the Gengar, because I know that I can bring Jellicent in later, especially on something like Lucario, which is a potential extreme speed or whatever thingy. I can do that and hopefully get it recovering, but we'll see about that. There's also a Milotic that he has, which is a nice thing I can recover on, but for the meantime, we're going to go into Heatran, who is going to absorb the Shadow Ball like a true man indeed, taking 0 to no damage after the leftovers recovery, and Stealth Rocks is an opportune moment right now to do so. I was a little bit afraid of maybe him going for the Focus Blast with Gengar, but he decides to just go straight out to this Rhyperior here, which is going to go for the Rock Blast as I protect on it. I was just kind of curious as to what kind of Rhyperior this was, and seeing that he went for Rock Blast there, and now seeing he's going for Rock Blast again, I'm got a kind of a feeling that he's going to be Choice Banded, but then I see how much damage it does, and I'm not quite sure whether that is banded or not. I know that it is neutral, and I don't have too much defensive investment, so I can't really tell. Maybe he predicted me to switch, and therefore went for the Rock Blast again, thinking I'd go to something to dodge an Earthquake, but in the end, it turns out that he's just going to go for that. I'm going to get the free Toxic off, and then I'm going to try and protect again as he switches out to Heatran of his own, which is, I think, is on an air balloon, so I don't actually have anything, I feel, apart from Landers with Earthquake, so it really shouldn't be too much of an issue for me to take this Heatran out, especially the fact that I have Jellicent still hanging around, which is actually very nice for a switch in now, because Heatran in general can't do too much to touch Jellicent, beside like a hidden power of Electric or Grass, which that never really happens on Heatran anyways, so I do get the free recover off as he goes into Lucario. And I know that Lucario will be carrying Crunch, but I feel it's okay, because I know I can live an unstabbed hit coming from Lucario. He doesn't have any boosts, of course, apart from the potential of a Life Orb, which is the most likely scenario, but I can easily get a Will-O-Wisp off, and after that, it means that he won't be able to 2-hit KO me with the Crunch, which will then allow me to recover up my damage and, you know, get myself up to full health. And I'm going to wipe my nose here in the middle of the video like a boss. Okay, there we, I think, oh crap, there's more crap pouring down my face. Nothing necessary to be said here really about this current portion of the video, because all I'm doing is recovering my health while his Crunch goes on and hits me down with a lot of damage, I guess. A decent amount of damage considering he's burned, but it's really nice because he's basically just killing himself slowly, killing me softly indeed, as he just takes himself down with burn and with Life Orb. So very good scenario for me in general, and I'm at a range of HP now where a Surf is something that I find the best thing to do, to just clear the Lucario out as much as I can. Don't want to be risking crits or anything, so I go for it. In comes Milotic to take it nicely indeed, and I'm predicting a Toxic, which is why I'm going to go on to Heatran. Unfortunately for me, he sees that coming. He knows that I will predict the Toxic and go to Heatran, so he goes for the Scald, which unfortunately is going to bring Heatran down to the point at which it will die from another one, and Protect It is not going to save me this time. I'm just going to go for it in case he was going to, you know, do some over-predicting. I could kind of gauge what he was thinking at that time, but I guess he just wants to get my Heatran dead, and I doubt he's going to go for the Toxic this turn. It would be a bit little. It wouldn't really be too risky, I guess, but seeing as Heatran can't really do anything to him, but I guess the Scald was just the main thing on his mind, just to get rid of my Heatran, because it is a little bit of a pain for him. It's best for him to take it out. So I go to Jellicent, get the Water Absorb, and Toxic is incoming, which I didn't expect him to go for it there, but I guess he saw the opportunity that I wasn't going to go back out to Heatran at this point, so it made sense for him to land it down there as I go for the Surf, which doesn't really do anything. I was going for Surf, predicting him to switch out, but alas, doesn't happen, and he manages to get off a Toxic on me, and then protects to do some Toxic. It's a bit of an interesting Milotic set with Toxic Protect. I never really see Protect too often on Milotic, but I guess it does work, and you can use it for multiple purposes. So he's going to go into Lucario, which at this point is pretty much death fodder. It's burned, it has Life Orb Recall kicking its ass, and is generally not in ship shape right now. He's going to live with a tiny little smidge, but will be able to finish himself off with the burn, as my poison is killing me softly, man. Killing me softly with his team. Killing me softly indeed. In comes an Alakazam. Shadow Ball is good, you know, simply because I have Stab on Shadow Ball and he doesn't, which means that he can't kill me, and there's a potential that I might be able to kill him. But Alakazam actually has kind of respectable Spec D, despite the fact that it has terrible HP, and it does manage to live that Shadow Ball, I guess, relatively nicely, with more of a chunklet than one may expect. But Alakazam it's okay. It's a cool guy. Talking of which, I'm going to bring in my own Alakazam. The Boony Spard, indeed, with his Spoonerisms all over the sky, and I'm actually going to get the speed tie win. Either I win a speed tie, or I am just playing faster. He may be running a modest set. I believe I am max speed with Timid, so that could also be a scenario there. And I'm also able to outspeed Gengar. This is always something I'm a bit iffy about. Like, I'm not sure whether, when it gets to the upper echelons of the speed tier, I'm not sure whether Gengar's more faster, or Alakazam, or Weavile. Those kind of guys I am a little bit iffy about, but I believe this was on a stream, and people said Alakazam would outspeed, so there you go, it outspeeds and I kill it, which is great because it allows me to land a Focus Blast on this Rhyperior. The unfortunate thing is that he realizes the potential of me having a Focus Sash, and therefore instead of going for this safe Earthquake, he's going to go for the Rock Blast with the potential of maybe missing, but he managed to hit it, and it does allow him to take me out without having to go through that Focus Sash, because it negates it by hitting multiple times, which is very awesome. So at this point though, he is very revengeable from the Landorus's Hidden Power Ice, which is why I'm going to bring Landorus straight in here. Marshmallow Head indeed doing some work, dude. I like really how Marshmallow Head has never really done anything for me before, and like this is him doing stuff now, and I'm glad, because I don't think I've actually uploaded a game with him in it. But he's a cool guy, Marshmallow Head. He's one of my good friends in the Pokemon team, and he does well sometimes. But anyway, enough of that nonsense. Milotic's going to come in, and he's going to rest here. Surprisingly, it has a Chesto, which you wouldn't really see that, and just thinking about his set right now is very sorely, and he just has basically Toxic, Protect, Rest, and Scald. So it's a weird set with Chester Resto. I guess it's just supposed to stall all day long, and that's generally what happens, but there you go. I get a Toxic off, fortunately, which is going to apply a bit of pressure to him, pressurizing him to rest at some point, which will give me maybe an upper hand in bringing in something to revenge it with, or maybe set up on it with. So at this point, I'm just going to go to Victini. I know I can take a Scald just because Victini's natural bulk is good enough, and I'm pretty sure that it wouldn't kill with one Fusion Bolt, despite the fact I'm banded, just because he has the Marvel Scale boost. But I managed to get a critical hit, which really is not a big deal. All it does is speed up the process, because regardless, Heatran would have been able to take out, or it wouldn't have been able to take out this Victini, but I still had Landorus left, and I would have popped his balloon on that turn anyway, and you know, things would have happened. I would have been able to take the match despite the crit on Milotic. It wasn't a big deal, it was a 2-hit KO anyway, etc, 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 and that is basically how it goes. So, thank you. Yeah, I do. Of course I do. I thank you for watching. Thanks, guys. If you want to watch a video that I did the other day, yesterday, then you can click on the screen. I don't know why it's going in slow motion instead of fast motion. Maybe I messed it up a little bit, but whatever. You can enjoy that, and I'll see you guys next time. Leave a like if you did enjoy. Check out all the social links below, and I'll see you then. Goodbye.